Should agencies defend an account that is going into review? Good question. All agencies used to love to cite long-term relationships. Why not? Procter & Gamble, Unilever, and GM have had agency relationships that began in the 20s. But Cinderella is gone. Advertising agency relationships are getting shorter and shorter in tenure these days. A clear trend in client-agency relationship is to terminate those that underperform. In 1984, the average client-agency relationship tenure was 7.2 years. 13 years later, that number declined to 5.3 years. The average client-agency tenure is thought to be less than 3 years, according to the Bedford Group. In 1984, when I was transferred from JWT Toronto to JWT Chicago, there were a lot of long-term relationships in that office. The relationships with clients could be decades long, and people worked at the agency for decades. I know that is true, as I was trained by gray hairs, and their tenures were decades long. That is not so true these days. I wonder if there's a correlationship between the longevity of client relationships and agency employee lengths. Could it be as simple as that? Often when agencies are going into a review to defend a client, they reach out to me. I have gray hair. I have also conducted a number of agency reviews for clients. None of the agencies that had the business retained the account. That's because they lost the client long before I got into the picture. I've been in situations where a lot of money was spent to defend the business, but it was too little, too late. It wasn't a nice experience. I have read that only a small fraction of agencies retain business that goes into a review. When it does happen, many of these reviews are mandated, and the client doesn't want to change, but needs to put the account in a review because of fiduciary guidelines or protocols or politics. Clients will tell me it's not their choice, but something that is mandated. Agencies to rush to participate in the review tell me the review is fixed. It reminds me of a song where the lyrics said, "Fools rush in where wise men never go." Finding out that your client is going to implement an agency review has a lot of emotional stages. First comes the pain. This is wrong, the agency says. Then comes the acrimony. We have done a lot for them. They were nothing before we met them. This is followed by the impact on your employees. This sucks, they say. Will I lose my job? Probably. In the new normal, only a few agencies can afford to carry people sitting on the sidelines. Since agencies are creative folks, emotional rationale can run high. But then again, emotions are why agencies are creative. So do you defend and go to the party pretending all is good, or do you pass? A very tough decision. The finance people send you Excel charts with revenue implications and the staffing implications. The creative people are squawking and the suits are defensive, worried and trying to be rational. The media people are fielding calls from their media friends. So if you're an agency principal, here's some advice from somebody who has seen and experienced your pain but isn't living yours today. First, remember that pitching a current piece of business will be more expensive in the end than you think. Think of it similar to a coin toss where your chances are less than 50-50. They're probably around 20%. Not really a good bet. If you do defend, you need to change the total face of your agency. That may cost you more than you think. I have chased rejection many times in my life. Few of those efforts have had a positive outcome. I have learned that starting new relationships that flourish is the best revenge.